I'm not an expert when it comes to stacking firewood. I do watch Outdoors with the Morgans, so I'm pretty high up on the levels in the firewood world just from watching Mike. So let's make an ugly stack of firewood. Well, what's up guys? It's Daniel from Arms Family Homestead, and getting a late start. Getting a late start on today's video for you guys. Usually I try to come out and do these things first thing in the morning. Well, maybe not first thing. We do go to the gym early in the morning, but when I can, it's first thing in the morning or early in the day. The animals are telling me they're hungry. But anyways, it's like, it's 3 o'clock, which means I've got about 2.5 hours before dark. So I'm gonna go ahead and take care of the animals, feed them, and do some other things around here. But I'm not prepared for this, guys. I am not prepared for what's coming. I don't know what it's like where you guys are, but here in Oklahoma, the weather's been nice. It's chilly. Don't get me wrong. It's in the like lower 40s, upper 30s. But next week's gonna suck. Like every meteorologist in Oklahoma is in like full panic mode because winter is coming again or something. I don't know. All I do know this. Next week they're predicting like Christmas time frame. We're not going to be above freezing for 4 or 5 days, and temperatures in the single digits at night. A couple nights in the teens, 20s. That's cold. That's too cold for us. I don't mind the cold too much, other than for these guys. And the main thing is the water. Trying to keep water for the animals when it doesn't get above freezing during the day, it's kind of a pain because you know, you could get stock tank heaters and all those things, but there's so many different places and so many different animals, and you got cute little things like Phoebe that will make a mess and dump it out. Won't you, Phoebe? Huh? So anyways, let's just get started. Feed the animals, take care of everything. We're gonna take it one day at a time, but it's fixing to get cold. Winter is fixing to settle in on us really quickly, really abruptly. And I don't think it's going to be nice to us. Are you birds hungry? Everybody's waiting. Tell you what, before we feed, why don't we check on some of these babies and make sure everybody's doing all right? Because some of you doubt my goat herding skills because I didn't separate that one and that one on the last video. Lambert, have you been helping take care of everybody? Your face looks a little cleaner today. You've been keeping it out of that protein tub? So that's the little single baby that was born to the little black mom that in the last video you guys saw that Spot here, the brown goat, was also trying to mother. But they're all doing well. Spot's minding her manners for the most part and letting the real mom be mom. And we do what we can to keep our goats all together and out on pasture during kidding season. I don't want to have to bring everybody up in stalls and all that. We've talked about that for years, but I think everything's okay. Look, he's just a baby with 2 moms. I think I could just sit out here and watch baby goats play all day. What about you, Lambert? Oh, bear, golly, excuse you. Copper, bro, don't you try to jump over that. I see you. Hey, I'll come feed you in a minute, buddy, okay? You just hang out right there. Excuse me, Skip, excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Look out. How have you managed to keep a baby chick alive this time of year? You must be a good little mama hen. Move, Copper. Move. Move, move, move. Back up. I can't get in the feed if you're in the way. Hey, Copper, you're gonna knock my camera over, buddy. Come on. Don't knock it over. Hey, you don't have to eat out of the bucket. Steve and Jerry. Like Ben and Jerry's ice cream. We should have named you Ben. We'd have a Ben and Jerry. Copper, what was wrong with eating in the barn? Huh? Dude, get your head out of the bucket. What's up, Jerry? Old Jerry Bear. You don't say much, do you? You like the strong, silent type? Goose is not the strong, silent type. Goose is the loudmouth of the bunch. Aren't you, Goose? Are you the loudmouth? And then you got Jerry. He's the strong, silent type. Oh, Copper. He's that guy that just smells bad all the time. You know that guy. Trust me. You've all got that friend. You're like, man, he just kind of stinks a little bit, you know? But it's due to what you see on the back of his legs right there and on his beard. The dude likes to pee on himself. It's pretty gross, isn't it, Jerry? Poor Jerry and Steve have to sleep with a guy that pees on himself. Huh. Goose. Hey. This is not your time. You just gonna take it? Here, you want, come eat. All right. Walk away. That's what I thought. All right, let's go feed all the mom's babies. They're the noisy bunch over here. Well, I mean, other than Goose. Ralph, you're gonna get spit on, man. She will spit right in your face for that. Hey, Pepper, are you hungry? Pepper hungry? Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Phoebe, watch out. Phoebe, move. Move, Tina. Good grief, guys. You act like you haven't eaten since yesterday. Hey, why'd you kick me? Put a little here, a little there. Hi, Reba. Pepper, don't you knock that over. Pepper, hey, over there. Man, you guys need another bale of hay. Rafi, you got anything to say today? Nope. All right, well, just keep growing. Everybody here's doing well. No baby donkey, still holding out on us. On one last baby donkey of the year. Well, more than likely it's going to be next year, so oh well, it is what it is. The little babies are doing good though. Reba, where are you going? She decided there's too much chaos up here. Reba's going to head off on her own, but I did notice, it blows my mind how much hay they've gone through compared to the goats. I mean, that's, I think they can probably finish this off. I need to put out a bale of hay tomorrow for sure. But I'll probably pull that out of there and throw it on the ground, spread it around so they can get to it. But the goats still have, look at that, probably 2/3 of their bale of hay left. It was put out the same day as this one, but in all fairness, you're feeding a bunch of donkeys and a steer. So he's the equivalent of several goats, and each one of these full-grown donkeys, I would say, is the equivalent of probably 2 to 3 head of goats. So they go through some hay, but that's all right. We want to keep them with plenty of hay, because that's what keeps the gut working and keeps that machine building heat for them. So anyways, onward and upward on to the next project. Now I figure by now several of you are wondering why you haven't seen any videos on the brand new New Holland skid steer, and that's because it spent most of its time parked right there. It's finally drying out a little bit. We got quite a bit of rain over the last couple weeks, and those tracks tear up the ground really bad and make a mess when it's muddy. So I have gotten it out a few times and just played. I put the Precision Manufacturing mini clip on there. You guys saw me use it on the tractor. It's kind of a game changer on the front of the skid steer. It works great on the tractor. It's unbelievably different on the front of a skid steer. So coming up fairly soon, the next few days, I've got a trail that I want to start building down along one of my fence lines. So that'll be probably the first project you see with the new skid steer, but not today. Too many other things to do, too many other projects going on. I need to get the leaf blower out, clean up the yard real quick, and then probably head down and split a little bit more firewood. I'm trying to make sure we have enough firewood up at the house on the patio stacked up to get us through this big cold spell. I don't process tons of firewood and have 2 years worth of firewood built up. I do have a ton of dead logs that need to be cut and split, and just haven't got to it yet. So I've been working on it, but we'll probably go split a little bit more firewood too. Well, what I had already split and stacked on the ground was not quite a full load, so I think I'll go ahead and fire up the Easton Made Axis wood splitter here. This thing and I went around and around and around a couple days ago. I'll tell you what, this is probably 10 times more of a wood splitter than what I really need. I love it, but I also have a little bit of a love-hate relationship. And the hate part comes in the engine. So Easton Made makes an incredible wood splitter. They make some crazy firewood processing machines and everything, but this was, I got this back during COVID, like 2020, I believe, 2019, 2020, something like that. And they used to put Honda engines on there, and they switched to these Vanguard. It's a 14 horsepower Vanguard engine. And I've been fighting with keeping it running the last couple months, let's put it that way. The other day I Took it in the shop, had it all tuned up, cleaned up the carburetors, did everything, fired it up. It ran like a top. I didn't leave it running very long because it was in the shop. Brought it down here, got it all unhooked and set up, fired it up, started on the first pull, ran about a minute and died. And it did that 2 or 3 times. So I took it back to the shop, checked out the carburetor, cleaned everything up, fired it up, it ran, brought it back down here, started it up, and it died. So I started making calls. I called Andrew Easton, the guy that builds these. Easton made splitters. I text Brock from Rock Hill Farm, and I text a buddy of mine that's a mechanic. And he was like, maybe you're not getting enough fuel. You may have something clogging your fuel line. So he said, unhook your fuel line and blow into it like a straw. Sounds great. I did. The only problem is, well, we figured out the problem. And it was in this gas cap. This gas cap, you see it's on there crooked because it's just barely sitting on there. It was vapor locking, so when I would let it set for a little while, fuel would drain into the carburetor. It'd run for a minute and die because it wasn't getting fuel. So this cap was sealing it off and it wasn't able to breathe. So when I blew into that fuel line, it built all that pressure, and as soon as I quit blowing, it shot it to the back of my throat. So I was out here choking and gagging on gasoline. Probably not real smart, but figured out the problem, loosened off the gas cap, and it runs just fine. So we've got a new gas cap on order, should be here soon, and hopefully that's the only issue we have with it this year. So I'm gonna get it fired up, split a little bit more firewood, and haul it up to the house. Now before we get too far ahead of ourselves here, I'm trying to stack as much firewood under cover, under our roof on our outdoor kitchen as I can. Now, I'm not an expert when it comes to stacking firewood. I do watch Outdoors with the Morgans, so I'm pretty high up on the levels in the firewood world just from watching Mike. But my firewood stacks don't look anything like his. I don't do everything in IBC totes and all of that. I'm just trying to get enough firewood to add some supplemental heat during the cold part of winter. I love building a fire in our house. Got that big, awesome fireplace, and it really dramatically reduces our utility bills if I'm diligent about keeping a fire going in there. And when we have these temperatures coming like we do, that are going to be single digits and not getting above freezing for several days, it's huge to be able to build a fire in the house and add lots of great heat. So let's make an ugly stack of firewood. Well, there's one more load split and stacked undercover, and I'm always blown away by how much firewood I can fit in the bed of this Kubota Sidekick. I mean, we've had this thing for, gosh, probably 4 years now. Long time. I don't know. I'm probably way overloading the payload rating with that much firewood. There's quite a bit of firewood, but it blows my mind how much you can stack in the back of this. Now, I'm really only moving it about 300, 400 yards up the driveway, so it's not like we're going cross country with that much weight in the bed of it. And it does squat it down pretty good, but it'll haul quite a bit of firewood. So I got 2 big stacks there, got a little bit stacked up against the house where we can just come outside and grab a few logs. I don't pile too much against the house typically, and especially now that we have a place to store it undercover, I can stack a lot of firewood in this little area before I encroach too far in on the outdoor kitchen. Bear's showing us his good side. Bear, smile. You're on camera. But anyways, I got a few more chores I need to get done today. The sun's starting to set and go down. I know my wife's fixing to start thinking about supper. And what we're gonna do for supper, it's one night. We don't actually have any plans. Like, evenings for us are so busy right now. It's just a busy season, busy time of the year. Emily is playing freshman basketball, 9th grade basketball, so she has games 2 nights a week. Houston goes to CrossFit on Monday and Friday after school, and then on Tuesdays and Thursdays he has wrestling practice. He's wrestling this year, so we'll start, well, let's see, Mondays he's got CrossFit, Tuesdays wrestling, Wednesdays we go to church, Thursdays wrestling, Friday typically a high school basketball game or something. Emily's ball games are Monday and Thursday usually. And then after the first of the year, Houston will start with wrestling tournaments, and that'll fill up our Saturdays. So a lot going on, a lot busy, a lot going on, a lot to keep us busy, but that's all right. I love it. It's great. Anyways, guys, that's all I've got for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. You guys have a great day, and as always, we'll see you on the next video.